Hello and welcome to the last video of 2023 and today I'm going to do one more book review because I'm quite proud of myself. It's the 30th. I've finished my writing assignment for today. Trying to write 6 pages a day while I'm on holiday to keep working on my story. And before I'm going to turn to my Christmas present, which is the Witcher box, and starting on The Last Wish, which is the first prequel of 2 prequels, and then that's followed by the series, and then there's a sequel to that. I'm going to talk to you today about a book which was given to me incidentally by the same person who gave me The Witcher for my birthday in April this year, Legends and Lattes. Now, it says High Fantasy, Low Stakes, Good Company by Travis Baldry. And apparently, this is the Pan Macmillan Tor edition. It's a hardcover and I really like it. It smells nice too. And it's also really nicely styled, you know, full color plates in there. At the back and at the front as well, or at the front and at the back as well. So this was given me and I fell in love instantaneously, and I also ordered the sequel, which is also right here, because that came out, or it arrived on my doorstep in December. I haven't read it yet, but I can't wait to get to it. It's what is termed cozy fantasy. Now, apparently cozy fantasy is a new genre, and it's kind of like those cozy crime mysteries which have been around for a very, very long time. Quite often in those cozy mysteries you have like an amateur sleuth, maybe even working from like really behind the tea cozy array in front of them on their coffee table and trying to solve mysteries. Now, in this story we follow an orc, a female orc, might I add, who used to be an adventurer. She used to be living somewhere in a high fantasy world. If you've ever played D&D, you kind of get the vibe of this world really, really easily. And she's decided to stop adventuring. And she's also discovered something which she came across on her travels with her party of co-adventurers, namely coffee. And she completely fell in love with this particular beverage, and she's decided she's going to open up a coffee shop. But she kind of feels a little bit uneasy about it, so she wants to get some additional help for all of this. And so she decides to slay, together with her band of adventurers, she's decided to slay a monster that has something that is supposed to provide you with luck, some kind of lucky charm. And everybody else loots the lair of the monster, and she says, I don't want any of this, I just want this particular item. It's part of the monster's body. And she takes it, and then she travels to a city where she buys a rundown, completely dilapidated building, and she takes this item that she's found and she buries it underneath the floorboards of this particular building because she believes it's going to give her luck. It's going to bring her luck. It's a lucky charm. And so she starts building or refurbishing the house. She makes friends on the way, and her fellow adventurers do come by at some point. She orders a coffee making machine, so I assume it's one of those like the big ones you find in modern barista shops. She sets it up, she orders the coffee beans, and she starts brewing, and she's trying to get people to buy this beverage that they don't know anything about. And she's also trying to find somebody to help her with it. She also comes across a mouse type creature which turns out to be a perfect baker, and she sets up a little bakery inside the building, so she extends it a little bit so that this creature has its own realm where it can start baking. And so she tries to settle down. Unfortunately, adventures never come to an end. We know this from The Lord of the Rings. Adventures never stop. Something always lingers. And of course, there is an antagonist, a member of her former crew, who also thinks that there is something strange about this item that she stole or she took from the creature, and he tries to get it from her, and he attacks the place and he burns it down. And of course, our heroine is completely devastated and he takes the item, I believe. Honestly, I can't remember if he actually does take it, but it doesn't matter because she's devastated. You know, this was what she wanted to do. She invested all of her money into this because nothing came cheap. She had to buy all of the lumber and everything else needed to be paid for. And she's devastated. But then all of those people that she's been bringing happiness to with her coffee shop, with the baking, but also all of the people she has befriended who didn't want to be around her because she's the next meal ticket, because she's strong and she's a good adventurer and she will keep away and at bay all of the enemies while you go looting. They came to her because of her personality and because of who she is. They now all chip in and help her rebuild the coffee shop. So this is basically the story. And in the end, she realizes that it's nothing to do with the item at all. It's her, and it's her decision to change her life. And that's really all there is to the story. But it is a wonderfully written story with, in my opinion, really interesting characters. I know that some people said, oh, well, there is no character arcs. I think there are plenty of character arcs. I also like the fact that there's a lot of representation. It's very inclusive because, let's face it, when was the last time that you read a novel or a short story set in a high fantasy setting where you have an orc as a good hero? There you are. If this isn't inclusive, then I don't know what is. And of course, I will not shy away from this topic either. There is romance in there, and it's LGBTQ, and Viv actually finds a partner. Who is also a very interesting character type. She's a succubus. And the two of them basically, hopefully, live happily ever after above their coffee shop. And I really, really like it because it's one of those books where you read it, there is tension in there. And it is also, I would say, a masterclass in how to build your villain, in how to build your protagonist, in how to build the people helping the protagonist, and in how to build the third area, because there is a grey area person in there who I was very fascinated with. I don't want to give too much away, but it's really, if you really want to understand how to build such a little universe, I think this is also from a creative writing perspective, a very interesting novel. And plus, you walk away from it and you feel good. It is cozy, high fantasy, low stakes. It feels like this is what all of our adventurers in our own Dungeons and Dragons or DSA or whatever it is you're playing games should do at the end of an adventuring life. Retire when it's not too late. Retire when you still have a good few years ahead of you. But don't wait for yourself to take the arrow to the knee. Retire before that, when you still have a life to live, and that's what you do. And I actually like the idea of playing also cozy RPGs, in terms of one of the most cherished RPGs that I've played with my group is Havana. It's based in the DSA city of Havana, where you have this idea, everybody concentrates and kind of converges on this. In this case, it's actually a bordello, place and you have a home base from which you can venture forth. And here we also have this idea of the home base. And somebody who says, well, you know, my adventuring days are over, but I still want a life. And I'm not just my muscles and my strength, and I'm not just all of the enemies that I've killed. And I really, really think that this is a lovely book, which would also be interesting to YA, I think. It's not necessarily just for grown-ups, and anybody who's ever played an RPG that's set in a high fantasy world will definitely enjoy this as well. So this is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry, and I think it's also available as a paperback, but I'm a sucker for really lovely books, and I have to say that even the cover feels nice. It's got this soft touch to it. So here's to 2023. It's over, nearly over. 2024 is happening in less than 2 days, and I will see you again with new videos then. Talk to you soon. Bye.